Yeah,
Segwaying.
overall Super Bowl was cool, but segueing into Drake's new
Shitty songs for you.
his new album that he dropped with
Pull
Cardi.
something up. Pull it up.
What do you let me pull up the track list. Let's go through it.
I actually did a list for you, so don't worry. All right, I know what I'm doing. I do got, and I did some quick math too while I was sitting here thinking about it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I do
Okay.
have a few tracks that I like,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, I have like the first half of this album is not horrible. It's not good, but it's not horrible. So, um, Seeing Towers, okay.
Okay.
Mothballs is decent.
Mhm.
Something About You was good till Party Next Door starts hopping on.
Okay.
Crying in Chanel is okay.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Superman is funny. Shout out to the new Spider-Man series on Netflix on Disney Plus. Small Town Fame is probably the best track on the song. Besides, I don't like Noki. I'm gonna throw it out there. I think Noki's
Nokia?
trash. I think it's gonna get played in the club though. It's gonna get the
It,
host turned up. It's gonna get the host
yes.
turned up for sure.
That's exactly what it's for.
Raining in Houston, best song on the album to me. Best song on the album. Raining in Houston put me back in 2012, 2011. I was like, yo,
Yeah, yeah.
crazy. There was one line that had me. He was like, "These American guys talk looser than us." I was like, I'm just gonna like let you slide on that one.
Yeah.
But overall, I think the problem I saw this on a video, so I don't forget who, but I'm stealing this idea, this ideology. A lot of artists don't use as a feature. They don't explore new things. It's kind of like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
A lot of these songs don't feel like sexy songs for you. They feel like mad songs for the bros. Like I would never put this on while I'm like smashing my shorty or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Like
Uh-huh.
none of these songs are getting put on when I'm smashing my shorty. These are like really misogynistic.
I've heard that take. I've heard that take.
Um, it also feels a little gay because he's like, I'd rather go out with the bros besides being inside your coochie. And I was like, shit, I never felt that way. I know some. He said it's so fire. I got some fire, or whatever, waiting for me at home. I'll never go out with the bros. Um, I don't like Party Next Door as an artist. I think he's like, we're gonna clip this. Party Next Door is not a good artist, R&B artist. He does a disservice to R&B. Can't sing. His lyrics are the same.
Uh-huh.
He's talking about the same thing for like 10 years. Um,
Uh-huh.
so I did the math. I like six ish songs on this track. 6 out of 21. Oh, it feels bloated and over diluted.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
thing. 6 out of 21 songs. That's 28%. My rating was a 4 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 10. That's my
Damn, he went up half.
There we go.
He went up
Okay.
half.
Quick overtake. I had to go longer, but I know you wanna.
Yeah, no. I agree with you as far as it's a blah album. Now, it's funny because I would have asked for this from Drake beforehand, before the beef, right? I always said, even before Kendrick, right? I wish we had the chicken
You
and
did,
ramen
yeah.
videos, right?
If we had the chicken and ramen still around, you'd
Yeah,
be able to pull it up. Be like,
to
look,
pull it up, right? I like R&B Drake. That's just shots for
yeah.
me,
Houston,
cameras.
Atlanta, Vegas,
You're right,
uh,
right. Good
fan,
ones go. So
fan,
like,
fancy.
yeah, all of that is like my vibe. That's what I like Drake for. I like him for a couple other things too, but like,
I didn't
that
like the Micha Padre. I don't like the Spanish
no,
jacking.
no, not at all, bro. So I agree that "Raining in Houston" is the track on this whole thing. That's like, damn, that's the track for me. That is
Yeah, like
definitely
I would like honestly,
that's
I
mine.
would play that in the car, and I would maybe play with my shorty if she didn't hate Drake. Like if like you have a shorty that can like stand Drake, like you would put that on and be like, yeah, like
Yeah, that fits the vibe, like you said, of the Drake, the timeless Drake that I would have played before, right? That's
But
me.
now it's like when you play it, even the R&B feels weird because I'm like, I remember he said, I need me a girl that sits in Vogue, that like models in Vogue. The only girls that model in Vogue are like young 20, teenage, 19, 18 to 23-year-olds. I'm like, now I
With
feel
a line
conflicted.
about getting kicked out of mom's house or whatever, like it's 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 just different, bro. And that's the thing that I don't know that he could recover from. I'm like
You can just never come back from that.
Yeah, it's a whole section of listeners now are just turned off in a
Right.
way, and I don't know that they'll ever be quote unquote turned back on again, if that makes any sense. Yes, it's Drake. He's not gonna epically flop, but at the same time, he's not gonna reach that top that he
Yeah,
was,
like
in
you
my
like
opinion.
the whole Grammys was like calling you a pedo, bro.
Yeah.
Even if you aren't,
Right.
which like you know,
Right.
is the fact that like your peers, your whole peer, the music, and like okay, I know the people they're going to be stands. If we put, I'm going to actually clip this up and try to get this on the gram. But if we clip, they're going to be stands that say, "Oh, he's selling out shows. He's in Australia." As somebody who's lived in Europe, them other in different continents and countries, they don't be tapped into the fucking scene
Right.
like
Well,
we.
and they also, like he said, he hadn't been there in so long anyway. So if somebody hadn't
Hell,
been there in a decade and he decided to
I looked
drop
at them
in, then come
tickets.
on, bro.
I looked at them tickets.
Yeah.
If we all lived in Australia, we would have been going. Them tickets, I'm telling you, there was tickets like damn near middle of the crowd to front row. That was going for like $50.
Oh,
I
see,
would have went.
see,
I
see.
would have went.
Somebody, was it Joe? I think Joe on Joe Budden podcast said that the album, they lowered the price of the album too. I don't know how true or false that is too, but to
Well,
sell
I
more.
just think it's funny how like I'm about to shout out this fuck nigga Ack.
Okay.
How he's like talking about like first of all, I hope he doesn't get arrested. I ain't gonna lie. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna
off
lie.
that. Yeah.
That's that weird ass nigga.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Hey.
He heard me. He heard me.
That should cut right on.
So basically, he was talking about like you can look on Spotify and you can like Drake has such a great angle. Like I love that in a sense it's so funny in the comedical way. It's like if the album doesn't do good, see UMG is suppressing me.
Yeah, right. I can't
The album
find it.
if the album does do good, it proves I'm still the boy,
Ha
and
ha
these
ha
haters,
ha ha.
boys can never fuck with me. So it's like it's like a lose lose or a win win for him, I guess. But
Yeah,
it's like I went on Spotify and I looked it up. It was right there. It was like the number one or two album.
of course, bro.
Like
It's
I was
not.
like, bro, I said you're literally still like you are literally a cash cow.
Yeah. It like
Um,
so like I said, his fall off won't be the fall off that we think it will be. It's
I think
just
it'll
that
be a fall off in the black community. Like I've seen people who like
yeah,
say it, and I'm just like, they're not black. Or I've seen people, yeah, they're not black. I'm like, yeah, this is trash. Like I'm like, this is probably his worst out. I've listened to every Drake album that's came out in his conception since Views. Girl, I'm gonna plug there. Uh, I'm a. I've listened to every album that's came out since Views, and Jesus, hold on, 1 second.
you're good, bro.
So I've listened to every album since Views, and I've never had an album that was besides honestly, never mind house music
Okay.
that was trash. But even that, I can appreciate that because it's like he tried to do something different
I was gonna
stylistically.
say it's
At
different.
least,
I actually
at
fuck
least
with it.
at least it's just because he's a like a R&B and he was transitioning into his sixth god, you know. And I was like, yo, but like it's only because it threw you off. Like that's the only reason why. Like I think he was like, yo, this is gonna be for reggaeton, R&B, trap shit, like R&B, house music type shit. Then yeah, like it would have been cool.
Uh-huh.
But this is probably one of his worst albums. Like
Yeah.
for a minute, like I think honestly, even all for I know you might not listen. For all the dogs have more bangers. First person shooter is still a banger. I know
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like whatever first person shooters, rich baby, like rich
Yeah.
sexy baby daddy or whatever.
Mhm.
Slime you out with SZA was still a banger.
Mhm.
You had then you had the Scary Hours 3 joint that came off of that, Broke Your Heart, X
Yeah.
Broke Your whatever, Red,
Okay.
but like you still had like some
Some
songs
some
that did
some
bangers.
records.
Like
Yeah.
I
Right.
thought it wasn't in that bad of a track to be honest. Even the one with the Her Lost chick, that wasn't even that was like I think the most I've seen it is people been like this this reminds me of CL because a lot of people say CLB a Certified Lover Boy was boring. I didn't think it was boring. I actually liked it.
It was
But
okay.
like I think it was like not the worst, not the best.
Mhm.
I thought it was fine. But people say like how the content, how boring it was, and hype, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't like Party Next Door's artist. I think he's a really weak R&B artist. Like, I think he's one of the
That's
weakest
fair.
in the generation. Like, I've seen people say he's the best. I think he's one of the weakest like R&B artists.
He's
And
very
I think he's the start of like what the decline of R&B started to look like.
oh shit.
Um, for real, like if you really think about like 10, 12 years, 12, 15, 14, 15 years ago, we still had like a Chris Brown
Yeah.
and a lot more female. Like we had a lot of still like good R&B 15, 16 years ago. Then he came on the scene. Now we did have Bryson Tiller and stuff like that, but like
Yeah.
name me the best.
That's kind of where I put him though.
Yeah,
I put him in that like class of like singy, rappy. I was.
But I'm going off of even what he based himself, because all his music goes under art, like R&B and
Right.
soul.
I'm just no, yeah, based on that category, then yes.
Yeah, he's one of the worst.
He's very niche. It's a very
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna say he's all trash. Shout out 2K18, come and see me, because that song was all over 2K18 on the game. That song is fire. But like, he does have some songs. I won't say it like that.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. The hoes love him. I just don't get it. The hoes love him though. Like like women, like the Gen. I don't know, maybe millennial, whatever. The Gen Z grown bitches love him. Like, I don't get it. I be like, I'm like, we not? I think people are just don't listen to lyrics.
It's a vibe.
It's vibes. It's straight vibes. But like, for me, it's like, if I'm sitting there and he's talking about like this is one song he said, yeah, I'm fucking all my bitches' old friends. Yeah, I'm like, you want to fuck this?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just, maybe I care too much. That's whatever.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's what it is. So like, now that
I love music, so that's the problem. I'm a music kind of like,
well,
I listen.
I think that's it's not necessarily the case per se, but I've seen some arguments of that's why, Kendrick's always talking about this, Black Power movement, all this, right? He's very cerebral, where we just want to vibe. Like Drake said in his song, what did he say? Fuck rapping, I just want to make.
But that line even says that fuck rap. They said fuck a rap beef. I just want to get party lit.
Yeah, exactly.
But then he said told him I'm vegan. That doesn't even make sense.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, come on, bro. We're talking about Drake here. I saw another comment that I liked. It was like, "Oh, this is the first time Drake actually wrote his lyrics. Good job, bro." But I think
here's another thing too. My only argument is they're like, there's nothing wrong with him being 40 or almost 40 and chasing hoes, and like somebody was getting married, and I said, yeah, that's not an argument. Like I'm cool. Like, not everybody's supposed to be married. Not everybody's gonna whatever be J. Cole, Kendrick, whatever.
Right.
But my caveat is to combat that. When you're telling me this guy is the GOAT, he's the best. Like, he's not the GOAT of like chill vibes, R&B, or GOAT of vibes. When you tell me he's the best at everything,
right?
When in my opinion, he's not really good at anything at this point. Like, he's a mid jack of all trades, but he's not good in one thing to me at this point.
Okay.
So for me, it's like, when you start like, that's like, all right, you tell me you hoop for fun, but then you tell me, like, if you hoop for fun, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna judge you hard. Like, I'm just with Will. We just here for vibes. But when we walk in that gym, Will said, I'm the best nigga in this court. I'm the best nigga in the gym.
Psych.
I'm like, okay, the expectation when you have one bad pickup game, I'm gonna be like, yo, I thought you was that guy. You told me you was the hit maker. Yeah, but he does have some hits. Like, Noki will be.
Noki is gonna be the one. I don't really care for it.
I don't like it. Give Me a Hug is also weird too. He's so out of touch with black people. Nobody ever wanted to be the give me a hug nigga.
I was just gonna say that, but like, I think we're in the minority. I think a lot of people like it. It's catchy, but nobody wants to be like, give me a hug, give me a hug.
That's never been cool. Then the auto tune was pitchy. Like, nobody ever thought the give me a hug nigga was cool.
Not ever. You were laughed at. I know at our school. You asking for a hug, bro?
Give me a hug. I remember. You go in you don't ask the people who you ain't cool with to get the hug. You just go, like, you just dap them up, even if it's a shorty.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you never get the bros hug for it. I never did. You just dap them up. But I'm saying, like, but like, give me I'm gonna be real. I've seen give me a hug play it on like all over. I don't get it. I think it's really bad.
That Nokia. It's
Nokia.
I just say it's the vibe. It comes down to it's just a song that gets moving and people like the beat, and it's just a vibe. Like, it's cool, whatever. It's cool.
I was talking to my friend. Somebody was like, "Do you think Kendrick will listen to a Drake album?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't think so."
I don't know.
I don't think Kendrick Lamar just sitting down listening to a whole Drake.
He might run it through one time just to see. Probably not though. Honestly,
I don't think so. I think he probably focused on whatever he's focused.
Whatever else. Yeah. Well. And let's say
I think in the past he has done that.
But like, for sure.
At this point, it's like I do think Kendrick Lamar was a fan of Drake at some point. Like, I mean, it's been documented.
Right.
You had to be a fan to freaking dissect and slice somebody up this bad.
Correct. I think there was a clear divide, right? At some point, Kendrick was like, nah, right? It was probably before the Control verse, obviously, because he felt
I'm gonna be real. I'm not saying this theory anywhere. I think it's in 2010 when he kissed their short. No, it couldn't have been because that they went on tour right after.
Yeah.
I don't know what it could. Maybe I about to say when he kissed that shorty on stage when she was like 17, he was like 23.
Mhm.
But like I think they went on tour like the year
After.
later, so it couldn't have
Yeah.
been that. But maybe he
Yeah.
found out because things were different
He
back then. Everything wasn't
right. He either found out or it's just like you said, right? You chose the fame route, you chose this route, and I'm doing it for the art, right? For the it's just different purpose. That's fine, but you
But then,
know.
but then I think they still could have been cool. But I think when the sneak dissing and because I remember when he did the
Yeah.
soul voice and then he did that he tried to undersell Kendrick with Elliot Wilson.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Because
that interview. Yeah.
I finally watched the full thing. Like I only saw clips and I was like, it's a little shady. But then I watched the full thing and I was like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't have fuck with you after this either. You was trying to little bro me.
Mhm, mhm. Which
So
again, at that time, it was different. Man, I can't. It was
no, that's
just a different
2013. I think Kendrick just dropped. He just dropped Good Kid, Mad City. Kendrick could
yeah.
flex a little bit.
No, 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 I'm not even saying that.
Uh,
I'm just saying in my head, in that era, we're still like, okay, like we're cool. Like I listen to Drake, I listen to Kendrick, like I listen to
yeah.
a whole bunch of people in that
I have
time
a
period.
question though.
What?
As a fan, because he was an actor like prior to because I was like shit 9, so I'm just listening to whatever my mama put on.
Mhm.
But I do remember listening to like through the car because my mom was like a old millennial, so I do remember it. But like, was it like a big divide in like fandom? Was it like an arguing about who's better, or was it like it was just pretty chill amongst the
No,
fans?
because it wasn't really. I don't think we're not talking big 3 back then, I don't think.
Right.
We're still talking about everybody is, like, coming up they the whole class, right? They in their own class, but it was like there was enough and that was blog era. That was my favorite time, right? So you had not just them 2, you still had Wiz out, you still have
Wiz,
Currency, you
Wiz is
still
like
had
the hardest
Dom.
undergroundish rapper, but not really
Right.
underground ever
He's
to be
not
honest.
right. So you had a whole bunch of like blog rapping type deal where everybody was kind of like dropping music where it was cool. I don't think there was so much like head to head back then yet.
Okay.
And to be honest, I should research. That should be like a separate video where we find out when we started like narrowing it down to, the J. Cole, the Kendricks, and the Drakes. But at that time period, it was kind of still like
I think it
everybody.
started happening maybe like 2016, 17, I would say.
Yeah, it was
I was
yeah,
like,
it was probably around that time, right? Because then at that point, they've had a couple projects, well, definitely a couple projects under their belt, right? They're both
yeah.
esteemed. J. Cole is, we're both and then we're talking about lyricists. But I mean, if I'm being honest, I even told my cousin this, like when the beef first started, I'm like, damn, I can't believe J. Cole like dipped off. Like to me, the 2 lyricists out of the big 3 is Cole and Kendrick. And I'm not
But
mad if
I don't
somebody
think
chose if somebody
uh,
was like, yo, I rock with Cole. I think Cole's the better lyricist than Kendrick. I'm gonna look at you a little stupid and say, nah, I'm team Kendrick. But I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. At least he raps. If somebody said, nah, Drake is the better rapper, I'm gonna look at you stupid as
no,
fuck.
I think I wasn't on the pod, but you might remember me saying that. It's like because I think it was out of the country or whatever. I was like, because Daryl and Cody was like, "Yo, this about to go there." I'm like, I just don't know. I said this gonna get really crazy. I said I didn't know where Drake could go. Like I was like, where you going? Like, okay, he's boring. You made lit music for the hoes. Like I never saw an angle
Yeah.
where like this was gonna go crazy.
Mhm.
And like I was like, I don't know. I said this is I said I have a bad feeling this is gonna get crazy. And they
I
were like,
remember that.
"No."
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I don't know, like this. And I remember when Euphoria came out, I was like, yo,
Done,
she.
done,
I
bro.
was like, oh, this crazy. And then
Done.
Drake was like, oh, I still got more in chamber. I was like, the Drewski meme.
Right, right. Okay.
I was like,
Okay.
okay. And then I think for me, I didn't want to see this because I was like, where does this even go? Like I was like for him on his side, because like I was still a Drake supporter. I mean, obviously this nigga been making
Right,
it's 'cause
right,
he's been making music for like ever in our face and been so it's like you still want to see the guy put a good fight up.
right.
It's just like I didn't never saw where this was gonna go, and I also didn't like the little double standard because I was like, it took him 3 weeks to respond like that, but then everybody was on the clock when because Drake dropped back
Of
to back on
course.
his head,
Thank
and
Act for that. Thank for Act for that for
I was
sure.
like, why? Because I remember no shout out to Cheyenne. She said this because I don't think you was on. You might have been on. Y'all had that DJ on, and y'all was like Kendrick.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, I'll agree with. I was like, yo, why does he gotta respond mad quick? I said, like, it's never been like Drake is the only person to make it seem like you have to do that back to back shit. Cause like
Right.
back Jay Z, Nas, they took 4 months, a year to respond to each other disses. I do like a quick response, But like, I'm not also mad. Like, I'm not taking points off you because like I'm not gonna say you down. I'm just gonna say you took 2 jabs. You will get a score. You will take 2 jabs because he fucking 2-pieced your ass first and you haven't responded.
Right.
But the battle's not over by far.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. I don't think he had any more after Not Like Us. I'm gonna be honest. I think it was a little cap of him saying he got more in the chamber. I think he was done too at his point.
Oh, Kendrick?
I think he was because at that point you knew he was killing that. What else could you have said after pedo?
He could have said it differently. I mean, I think he had one or two more left. And I
like
think
scathing stuff or just read that. Like I don't think he was on.
I would say more like Euphoria-esque, like more like battle, like just saying slick shit in quadruple entendre.
I think he was done. I think he was done after Not Like Us. He could have had more. I'm never gonna count Kenny out.
We're not here.
Just because like he also came and had more disses on Whacked Out Murals and other stuff like that. So like I never say he was done, but like I just felt like I was like, you done fucking shot this nigga, stomped on his grave, pissed and shitted on it. There's nothing else left.
Yeah. I mean, again, like you said, to wrap it all up, like I'm just happy. It's funny because as Kendrick fans before the beef, all the Drake fans like, oh, y'all just hate him because y'all hate Drake, and I'm like, well, I never really hated Drake, but I
feel like true Kendrick fans were always supporters and fucked with Drake.
Yeah, it's just like, it's only when you wanted to claim that you're number one. Then we have in rapping, and then we had an issue. Then that's when I had an issue. Like,
but people forget to realize that, like you said, Kendrick and Drake came up together in the sense of like class. Like, so like if you fuck with Kendrick, you fuck with Drake. Like you probably.
Bro, I'm not gonna sit here and not lie. Like I didn't listen to Drake's first 5 albums like religiously. Like he was part of the rotation of music, bro.
Like I was talking to my shorty. Of course, I wasn't around for this, but like she was like, "Yo, 2012, 13, Poetic Justice came on in the club. The hoes was grinding to that. Like it was, or Good Kid, Mad City, like in 2010 or 2012 to 14, 15, that had the club going up.
Yeah,
which is something we gotta talk about. Club music nowadays is trash. Y'all had it lit.
I mean, I haven't been in the club in ages, so I'm
saying y'all had to go in there with music. Like it'd be bad. It'd be bad.
I bet. Well,
I gotta talk about this. Him trying to do the Ice Spice rap.
Oh no!
After calling her a trash rapper, she better on mute. Hilarious.
Yeah, we'll see. Supposedly he has a solo album at some point this year, right? So we gonna see.
So what would you rate this album 1 to 10?
Okay, so I'll say like what I said in the chat when we were talking, 6 out of 10 for me.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Again, teacher brain for me. Anything 6 or below, you kind of add a D, F, and is all the same to me. Like trash is trash, D, F, all the way down to Z. It's fine if you want. Like I said, the only real track that that's a save in my library would be Raining in Houston.
Hey baby.
That would be the only like real save in my book. But I'm more interested to see what the solo album, whenever he drops that, how that does.
You think he's gonna be on his remorseful talk? He said he's gonna talk with us.
That's what he says. Whether or not he sticks to that and how he talks, we'll see. Again, like what Cheyenne said in the chat, right? Like a therapy, like his own Mr. Morale. He needs his own. I fucked up. I need to chill type shit. Like I think if
you think he'll do that?
No, I think if he went down that route, he would get laughed at. But I think he would win over more people, like from our community. That would be like, you know what? It's been some time. Like he's owned up to his mistakes. He said he's going to therapy.
We're going into 2026.
Yeah, now, right. He got therapy. He said like he shouldn't have went that way, right? Then maybe he wins back some of the community. Obviously, some people are gonna laugh, whatever.
I would actually really appreciate it.
I would. The 2 things he could do that would make me be like, damn, like I fuck with Drake like that is 1, he actually gives fucking academics some light, like actually sits down in that nigga's like fucking room and actually sits down and talks with him.
You know he'll never do that.
I know, but I'm just saying, like he's one of your first meat writers. Like you might as well just sit with him. Like
him and Mal be going.
Yeah, him and Mal are like doing way too fucking much. So I would respect him if he sat down with that.
A lot of tricks on it.
On it, yeah, all on it, bro. So that, and if he went to therapy and he actually owned up to it on his neck, but he's not gonna do it. In my eyes, he's too cocky, he's too petty, he's too he's
He's so far gone.
yeah, he's too far gone. Exactly, right, exactly.
He
Um,
might though. I would not count it out. He said he had a therapist in Champagne Poppy.
I'm just
Or
saying, bro. If we can retire the boy's nickname and tell him he's a man now and he got some therapy, then maybe. But I don't
I'm
think
okay with calling him the boy.
I don't think where the man at.
He
I ain't seen him
he
yet.
boy wonder.
Can I bleed him yet? All
Drake's
right.
Peter,
Well,
Drake's Peter Pan, bro.
God, don't do that. Don't do that. Ugh. All right. What else did we have? What else did we have? That's Drake. Let's do. Let me see. Oh, you know whose album I was actually listening to more, who dropped on the same day, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
I'll probably get laughed at because a lot of people don't like his voice either. But fuck, how do I forget his name? Hold on, let me go to my library. Jacquees. He
damn.
dropped the album with DJ Loaf. It's really good. I like it. I
Okay,
fuck with
okay.
it.
I'll put it.
So
Okay, surprisingly, I know people don't like it. I actually like Jarquez.
I do too, but I think we're like two of the like outsiders. A lot of people like his voice is annoying, and I'm like, okay, but it's kind of dope. Like it's like the tempo I like. It's the 808s still be there. He be talking his shit. Like it's smooth. I fuck
It's
with it.
cool. No, no, no. You could smash a short. You probably done made a baby to some Jarquez.
I play Jacquees. Shelly knows some Jacquees, so I used to play it on repeat his last album too. So
Matter in the club.
I just listen to his new album with DJ Love. It's really good.
Okay, I'm gonna
That's a
listen to
side
it.
note.
Shout out DJ Love. She cool.
Let's
She
do
underrated. She underrated.
a very, very.